Ted, I wanted to ask you about the process. So obviously, the marketer has to listen first before creating the appropriate content that really matters to the executive. So how long does listening take? And secondly, do you immediately flip the content, or do you gradually ease into the content?
Well, I think listening is something that should never stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it should be ongoing. It's not just for content related purposes, it's really for all marketing related purposes. You know, great listeners are the best communicators in general. So I think you have to put processes and tools in place that enable you to listen continuously. And then, but even as you're doing that, I think you have to ask yourself, what's the strategy here? What goal are you trying to reach? Are you trying to build the reputation of the brand? Are you trying to raise awareness of your brand in a certain category? Are you trying to drive leads to a certain area of your business? I mean, what's the actual goal? And then that will, combine with your listening, help determine what's the content strategy.
Got it.
And so I think putting those two pieces together is really important. Once you decide what that is, if your business goals generally remain the same, then the listening just continuously happens so you can understand when there are changes in the marketplace that you should address with your content.
Makes sense.
I think you just hit on a critical point that's in the survey. The question to me, it wasn't such a revelation to understand that there was this disconnect between marketers.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
What's driving it? And Ted is hinting at it in his answer, which is about goals.
Yeah.
So if you look at the survey, I think 3/4 of the marketers said their goal for content marketing is building brand, brand awareness, familiarity.
Yeah.
3/4 of them also said that they measure success by having the phone ring, by having sales.
Yeah.
Well, those two things are not aligned.
Right. It disconnects.
So, of course, if you're going to measure the thing by having the phone ring, your content strategy is going to be more about sales and less about brand. So let's take it one step farther. Why is there this disconnect within the organization? And if you look at the survey, it shows that there is just very little alignment across leadership for the strategy of the content marketing.
Right. And I would assume there's also a lack of understanding among some of those key points.
And this all goes back to where we started, which is this transition from it's a mindset transition from an advertising mindset to a publishing mindset.
Got it. Go ahead, Paul.
I was thinking a prediction sign.
We're kind of wrapping up.
Yeah.
The audience it's bedtime for our audience.
We always like to.
Well, it's global.
Exactly. Somebody's always awake.
We always like our guests to go out on a limb. So considering.
You didn't warn me about this. That's not fair.
Surprise, surprise.
Gotcha.
Considering the results of the survey and what you've seen, do you foresee this gap closing in the future? Do you see that we'll have brands becoming better aware of these things and taking more steps to improve this disconnect?
I think, unfortunately, and I hope I'm wrong, I think that a lot of brands are going to give up.
Interesting.
Or cut way back, because this is expensive.
Yeah.
This is hard to do.
Yeah.
This is hard to measure. This is a long-term commitment. It is not a quick ROI.
Yep.
This is a long game, and you've got limited budgets and you've got limited attention, and if you can't justify the program quickly, I think a lot of people are going to give up. The good ones, though, the ones who are getting it right, are going to soar.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
that's unfortunately my prediction. I think it takes a lot of fortitude to really make this transition.
Let's put Ted on the spot with the
Well,
same question.
I tend to be more optimistic. I think everything's going to be great.
Oh, wow. You get to go
Perfect.
second.
Yeah, right. You raise a very good point. I do think, and I already see a lot of brands struggling with this in a major way. The good news is there are some brands, I think, that are out there right now doing this really well.
Name some names.
No.
Any clients of yours?
No comment, Jeff. And I think my hope, may
Yes.
not be a prediction, my hope
Yes.
is that their success breeds other success. And they see the ones that are hesitant to jump in,
Yeah.
or who have not tried it yet, or have tried it and failed and are kind of wondering what the next step is, can learn the lessons that those others have learned,
Yes.
and take from them the best practices. But Jeff's right. I mean, this is not, let's spend a few bucks here and throw it out there and see if it works. It's a big investment.
Understand. So the title, if you were to do this again in a year or 18 months, from Jeff might be Still Missing the Mark.
I hope not.
Whereas yours might be Getting Closer to Hitting the Mark.
Or shrinking the gap.
Okay, getting closer to the bullseye.
Right.
We might be not missing the mark so much if there are fewer people out there, right?
Yeah.
Maybe only the winners will survive.
Yeah,
True.
It's a very Darwinian philososy.
it is.
That's how this guy rolls.
Look at the Economist.
Paul, do you want to wrap up?
I think this is great. We really appreciate your time, Jeff, Ted. We're also going to include a link to the survey in case our viewers haven't seen it when we post the video up. We want to thank you guys again, and thank you all for watching RepTV.
And it would be nice if you could have us back, more than like once a year.
If you've got something new, we want
It's all about the
Fair enough.
content.
content.
There you
Put
go.
a lot of
Content.
pressure
I
on
got a
it.
content marketing
Now we have to do
program, so-
another one of these? Oh, man.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.